Today we're going to be shopping my bookshelves. There are quite a few books on here that have not been read, and that comes as no surprise to any book lovers, book collectors. We all have an overabundance amount of books on our shelves that we have not read. So we're gonna go shopping on my shelves and we're gonna pull some books to read for a TBR. I am hoping to pull about 4 to 5 books. This might be the start of a new series on my channel where we shop my bookshelves and kind of just make sure that we're still reading the books that we already own in addition to the ones that we have purchased. And I also get quite a few books from publishing companies and I try to read them. I try to get to them as much as possible, but sometimes there are some that I just have not had the opportunity to read. So I thought this would be a very fun idea. So I guess we're just gonna start up here in the top corner and then we'll go from there. So for the most part, everything on this shelf has already been read except for The Hive and Electric Kingdom. And so this one came from a publishing company. So in this world, there is a fly flu that kind of comes and takes out most of humanity. And we have a survivor, which is our main character and her dog. They're kind of traveling the world looking for this mythical portal. And that's pretty much all that I know, but I've heard great things about it and I do want to read it. I pretty much begged for them to send me this book because I was excited to read it and I don't know what happened because I never got to it. We're just gonna leave those out and then we'll move down. So on this shelf right here, I haven't read any of these at all. And I also haven't read Dune or The Great Alone or Honeycomb, so we're gonna slide these out as well. I have read those, so like these are our options here. I have been putting Malice off for a long time and Leviathan Waits as well, but if I had to pick one to read first, I don't know. I know that I'm not ready to read this, so I'm gonna slide that back. And we're gonna slide this one back because I'm not ready to read that yet either. So if we're shopping for like the books that have been on my shelf the longest, and so those they don't have enough dust on them. These haven't collected any dust bunnies. We're trying to get the ones that have been sitting here for a minute. I know that we're gonna have to decide between one of these two. And also Dune. Dune has been here for a while as well. So these three we need to get to eventually. Not y'all seeing how short I am. I promise I'm tall in real life. On this shelf, I'm currently reading Red Rising. Foundry Side was a solid DNF. I haven't read this book. Maybe that's an option. I also haven't read Lore. But you know what's been sitting on my shelf for the longest on this shelf is the Graceling series. So if I was going to read anything on this shelf, it would probably be this right here. As far as this shelf goes, I've pretty much read all of the N.K. Jemisin books except for The Shadowed Sun. I haven't read this one. I read Ray Bear. I haven't read any Tiffany D. Jackson books, so maybe that's an option too. Maybe I'll pull out. I'm so scared to read Monday's Not Coming. Nervous. We're nervous to read Monday's Not Coming. I'm not ready to read anything on this shelf that I haven't read. So like technically on this shelf I haven't read 1, 2, 3. I'm so proud of myself. There's only 3 books on this shelf that I have not read, and that's a pretty good deal for me. So we're gonna move along because they'll get read eventually. Read Chain of Gold, but I haven't read Chain of Iron, and I haven't read the City of Brass series. So if I was gonna read anything from this shelf, it would definitely be to start this series because I can finish 3 books on this shelf. These are 2 arcs that was sent to me by the publishing company, so I haven't read those. I haven't read this one, but I've read these 3 and I haven't read those 2. But on this shelf, if I was to pick anything, it would definitely be starting the City of Brass series so that I can knock that out. And then we move down to this shelf. I started the Diabolic and I haven't gotten a chance to finish it, but I've officially started the series, so we're not going to count those as a complete failure just yet. I haven't read The Braven Tower or The Unspoken Name. I've read The Only Good Indians and This Is My America. I've also read Tagana. I haven't read House in the Cerulean Sea, so that might be interesting for something cute and fun, but I am either going to pick Electric Kingdom or House in the Cerulean Sea, not both. I'm gonna pick one or the other, so we'll slide this one out too and we'll kind of just leave it out so that we can get back to it. And I haven't read the Truly Devious series. There's so many series on my shelf that I need to read, and these are cute quick read. So I'm gonna risk the biscuit by pulling this one out too. We're gonna have some choices to choose from. I can't believe that this far we have this many books and we've only done the top 2 shelves on each of my 3 bookcases. I'm nervous to keep going towards the bottom because I'm gonna end up pulling out all the books that I have not read on my shelf. And it's gonna feel like a lot. Like, I feel like I do so much reading throughout the year, and for some reason it's just never enough. There's always so many more books on my shelf that need to be read, and it can feel overwhelming. Am I still gonna buy more books? Yes I will, and I'm gonna throw them up here and they'll be collecting dust with the rest of these. So far we have the Electric Kingdom, we have Leviathan Wakes and Malice, we have Dune, we have Graceling over here, we have the Truly Devious series that I could start, City of Brass that I could start, and The House in the Cerulean Sea that I could start. I might just throw in War Girls because this is something that I have been meaning to read for a while, and I just need to go ahead and get to it. I remember starting the City of Brass and not being able to, I did start City of Brass and I made it about 100 pages in, and I was enjoying it, and it was a buddy read that just kind of kept getting dismantled because I got busy and then they got busy and then I was ready but they weren't ready and then they were ready and then I wasn't ready, and it was a lot. So this book ended up getting kind of like soft DNF. I didn't DNF it officially, it's just I had a hectic schedule with the person that I was buddy reading it with, and I did enjoy it, so I want to go ahead and finish it because I've already started it. So we're definitely gonna pull City of Brass. That's gonna be one of the first books that we read, and I'm also going to pull Truly Devious for sure. We want to read that. Do I want to read House in the Cerulean or do I want to read the Electric Kingdom? Choices. I don't. What's been on my shelf longer? House in the Cerulean. We're gonna go with that one as well. We have 3 books so far. I'm also going to pull Graceling because this is another book that I started and was not able to finish. But I wouldn't say I start. I read like 50 pages as like a test to see if I was going to be interested in it before I purchased all the books. So I am going to drop this one as well so that I can continue reading it and be done. 2 of these books so far we have already started and we just have not finished. 1, 2, 3, 4, and we need 1 more book, and that's going to come down to Dune, Malice, and Leviathan Wakes. Eeny, miny, miny, mo, catch a book by its toe. I don't know. What would you guys pick? Dune, Malice, or Leviathan? And like, each book is the first book in like a really long series. So like, once I pick a book, I'm in it for the long haul because they each have at least 3 books behind it. Like, I'm gonna go with Dune. We're gonna pull Dune. Look at this beautiful edition of Dune that I was able to snag. I was gonna buy this even if I didn't read Dune, and I know that the movie was supposed to come out in December of 2020 and it got pushed back probably because of COVID, but the movie's already made, so maybe it's the perfect time for me to jump into the series so that I can be ready for when the movies actually do get released in theaters. And it's so beautiful. Okay guys, so thanks for coming with me as we shop my shelves. We have Dune, we have City of Brass, we have Truly Devious, we have House in the Cerulean Sea, and we have Graceling. And I did not have to spend any money. This was completely free for me to do. So these are going to be the 5 books that I plan on reading this month for sure. And if I add any extras, that'll just be that, and I'll feel better about any books that I buy in addition to knowing that I'm reading at least 5 backlist books that I have already owned. Alrighty guys, I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.